What this is a podcast about is about music. And we're going to be talking about probably the biggest release of this week, which is Travis Scott's ASTROWORLD. But first,
Thank you.
what's up?
Hi, baby.
Hey, baby, how's it going? It's a beautiful part of the podcast while moving Sean's mic, but let's go.
Again.
Let's go into
ASTROWORLD.
ASTROWORLD.
Oh, Lord Jesus, help me.
This is a 17-song, 58-minute bonanza.
Hey, he kept it under an hour.
Let's talk about this mix. And then this will lead into the rest of our thoughts of the song. Because it's under an hour, but 17 songs is a little bit more than I would suspect. But 17 songs is a nice middle ground between the insanity of most trap albums that have come
Which
this
are like
year
52 songs.
versus, you know, a more traditional album. So I think if you're trying to have the best of both worlds, and I purely just on paper spec kind of thing for this album, it's not bad. But we can go into how we think about it. Do you want to start or me? I don't care.
This album's rough. Holy shit. This is really bad. I know Travis Scott's thing is auto-tune, and I will never like auto-tune in my life. Why are we still doing it? It's fucking 2018, not 2008 T-Pain app.
We were making fun of auto-tune back, like Jay-Z made his song Death of Auto-Tune back then because he was like, oh, this is all so ridiculous.
What was that?
This was
2009.
10 years later, like auto-tune straight isn't dead.
Oh my god. I might have heard the single worst song of 2018. Unfortunately, our boy 21 Savage is on it, but it's not his part that's bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of features in this album, and I'll go through on that later, because when you look at the track list, which actually I think was kind of cool, because a lot of artists love to release their albums and then flaunt the features. And this album has a lot of features, but they aren't really, they're not in the title tracks, you can't really find it. It's just, everything's in all caps, and it's there.
Spell the man name. So, NC-17 might be the single worst song I've heard in 2018.
Ooh.
It is god-awful. This weird auto-tune noise. I don't even want to call it a sound. It's a noise in the background of the song, and it's just, that's when I quit the album at NC-17, song 10.
Oh, that's a shame.
I stopped. I can't listen to this. This is so unbelievably bad. I quit like halfway through NC-17, not realizing then 21 Savage has a part on it, and I go, shit. So then I listen to the song again, and I go, okay, I'm gonna have to sit here and wait 2 minutes.
Because it's at the very end,
and
which happens a lot with this album.
Yeah, exactly, I was about to say that. And then 21's part is kind of funny, because he says, I'm so rich, I rent my dogs now.
Yeah, like imagine putting, and we'll allow this from 21 Savage because at the same time he's also going out there and saying, look, I'm not gonna like flaunt my change so heavy anymore. I'm gonna talk about people actually making like long-term investments that will get them out of poverty in the kind of way that I glorify in my music, which is pretty woke, which is why I'm wearing the 21 Savage jersey right now. And Sean's got his Vince Staples.
Reppin' Long Beach.
We'll have to do like a bonus video clip just for YouTube where we're just talking about these jerseys. Because it's not gonna work on podcast.
No.
And
it has to be YouTube.
Yeah, they're nice.
We're gonna do that.
But with Travis Scott, NC-17, if I pull up that, that's just featuring 21 Savage. And like most trap albums, there's different producers who come in here and there. But I think the selection of features is stronger than most trap albums I've heard. Because it goes outside of the genre in little bits. I mean, unfortunately, there's a song called Who What that has Quavo and Takeoff on it, which I, of course, wanted. Everyone wants that. No.
We hate Migos.
Sicko Mode, which is an interesting song, and then Drake ruins it.
Drake does ruin it.
Like, here, you know what I really wanted? Another Drake song this summer. I really wanted another Drake song. I didn't know Drake was doing it. Is Drake doing any new shit? I don't know.
Are Migos doing, is Quavo doing new shit?
I hope not. But the only new shit he's doing is his, no, that's Offset. I forget which one.
Offset, you mean?
Which one married Cardi B? Yeah. Frank Ocean is in the second song, which that was a good choice.
Carousel?
Yeah, for Carousel.
Also, stop putting caps for all your fucking titles. Just stop.
I mean...
fucking stop.
Of everything that's on here, that's the part of the album that least bothers me. But if I'll get into the... So, what I dislike about this album. At its worst, it's just like trap over and over again and
with
not
auto-tune.
Yeah, with more auto-tune than honestly Amigos ad-lib, which made the Migos song super great. At its best, this album is kind of playing with sound in the sense that you have a lot of songs like Stargazing, Sicko Mode, which I really would have loved if it were anyone else but Drake. Carousel, like there are these songs that have parts in the beginning and then they totally do like a switch in the middle and it turns into a totally different beat. And those beats that come in the middle and in the end, I think are the most like nuanced and kind of pushing things forward. But that's going to suck to someone who's like the average listener who either goes, hey, that's confusing that the song just switched out halfway through, or they don't even get to that because there's so much at the surface of this album that, for better or worse, is very akin to how trap usually goes.
Yes. That
you just kind of forget about it. But there's 2 songs on here featuring The Weeknd. It's also a little bit more Weeknd than I wanted. I could have gone with one.
I never heard that good either.
I think the 2 best songs on here are Astro Thunder, because Thundercat produces on that. And that just fundamentally, it just has, you pay attention to the bass of the song and it just has more range. Usually most trap songs stay in the same 3 low bass notes or whatever.
Yep.
But because it's Thundercat producing it, there's like range, there's style. And I go, oh wait, this is almost that thing I'm looking for of pushing trap in some direction that isn't just re-releasing the same thing. Butterfly Effect is really catchy. That was the single that came out.
Yeah.
That was the single that came out a while ago.
Ironically, the only song on there that's not explicit too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Naturally, because that's the lead single.
Yeah.
And
so you want to be played by the radio.
Yeah. It's all so ridiculous. There's also a little bit of a controversy regarding the cover of Controversy, yes. The cover of ASTROWORLD. So the other cover was a lot more explicit, featured a lot of like
there we go.
You know, the huge scantily clad women's all over the cover and shit. But on the final version, they removed one person off of there, and it was a transgender model. And so there was controversy like, oh, were they removed for being transgender or whatever? But apparently Travis Scott says like, no disrespect, but in the actual photo, like, she just took over the entire thing. Which you can kind of tell in like I don't know what version Spotify has there, but there's this version of the cover and she's right there versus this version of the cover gone.
That's dope.
And then that's an entirely different version of the cover, which I think may be more like kid friend or like album shelf friendly, because it's kind of just like some kids playing around on the like on a theme park thing with Travis Scott's head walking into his mouth with these like lights coming out of it, which is a great thing to describe on a podcast.
There's a couple different ones. Yeah, there's this one too.
Yeah. And there are a lot of takes about the album cover, but if the album cover is what you're talking about with this album, you're really missing out on a lot of it. So
you're not missing out on a lot of it. Don't listen to it. Actually, it's not as bad as another album we're going to review.
There are many trap albums that have come out this year, and there are many of them.
This is not the worst one.
This is not the worst.
But it has the worst song.
This is not the worst. It doesn't even have the worst song.
Well, why? We'll talk about.
We'll get there in literally just a moment. I'm going to finish my last thought. We're going to review this, and then we're going to go into the next segment really fast. But it tries to do more differently than most trap songs that like, or trap albums that end up coming out. So I will give it that, and I'll absolutely recognize it for that. But I mean, I've heard good trap albums that do things a little bit differently, and it still isn't that much. Every time I try to say a trap album is good because it does something differently, that bar for doing something different is so minor and detailed that like no one other than me who obsesses over this stuff is really going to notice it.
Nope.
And that sucks because that means like the genre is completely stagnant. Like
I've been saying that for the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah. Today's ranking system, we're going to be choosing airship accidents.
Fucking shit.
So on Wikipedia right now, I have a list of airship injuries. Most of these are like by blimp, by the way.
Well, you said airship. Airship is blimp.
Yeah. I'm gonna rank them by deaths.
Do you want plane or airship?
Airship accidents. On Wikipedia. Yeah, that's the one.
I'm gonna pop up the same thing.
And then you want to sort it by deaths right there?
Oh, fuck.
One more time. Now click it. There you go. All right, so I'm going to rank this album Shenandoah It was a U.S. Navy blimp that 14 died, 29 survived in 1925. So, and that was a good year. What I mean by all of that in ranking the album, using our arbitrary ranking system, because our album rankings mean nothing, you should really listen to the subjective opinions that we're putting forth about the albums, because that's more important than any ranking system. But the reason I say that is because, again, it's not the worst disaster. But 14 killed is still a disaster.
I'm saying this is... they don't have a name. But Zeppelin LZ 104.
All right. From 7th of April, 1918. So near the end of First World War.
Explodes over Malta for reasons unknown, killing 21.
Yeah. 21.
That's why I picked it, because of 21.
Killing 21.
That's literally why I'm like, is there one that has 21? Yes, 21 deaths.
You can angle that into saying that 21 was pushed to the very end of one part of the album. By that point, you would have stopped listening.
And I stopped listening at the end of it, so there you go.
I think the best songs in here to listen to...
I don't give a fuck.
Stop Trying to Be God, Astro Thunder, and Butterfly Effect. Everything else out of here I'm probably going to forget really quickly.